Welcome to Riders Range. We are here to do an unboxing and first shots of the new Glock 22. But it's really the Glock 44. Okay, and the Glock 22 is really a 40. Glock's nomenclature. This is, you remember the Great Gordo from shopfriendlyfire.com and Making It Magic, links down below. You'll remember him from the Silver Bullet and also from the Friendly Fire videos that we did. Links up above on those. And he's going to do the first shots. This is his gun. The Glock 44, 22 caliber pistol that, oh by the way, is the same, for all practical purposes, the same dimensions as the Glock 19. Now 19, but it's a 22, but a 40, okay, fine. Interesting gun. We're going to take it apart, take a look at it here in just a minute, and take the first shots, put a bunch of different ammo through it, and see how this little gun works. Alright, so we have the Glock 44 on the left, the Glock 19 on the right. We're going to take them apart here in just a minute. The Glock 44 weighs in empty without a magazine at just over 12 ounces. We'll talk a little bit more about why in just a minute. Whereas the Glock 19 without a magazine weighs in at more than 21 ounces. Significant difference. So again, the Great Gordo is going to take apart his new Glock 44, and we're going to talk about that as he does it.
Hey guys, let's take a peek under the hood here and see what we got. As you can see, it's, and Harley commented, it's basically identical to the Glock 19 frame-wise and size-wise. Harley's is the Gen 4. This is based on the Gen 5. You can see the front slide serrations, and they've melted the edges a little bit. And nice thing I like about this is it's a typical Glock. What we're going to do here, first thing we'll do is check for clear. We're clear. We have an unloaded weapon here. Now, as typical Glock, we're going to pull the trigger, pull the slide back a little bit with the release, just like a regular Glock. You can see here, same thing, recoil spring assembly, and the barrel. And here, Harley, you wanted to mention something about the barrel?
Yeah, that barrel is not like a lot of 22 pistols these days where the barrel is actually mounted to the frame. This is a floating barrel. Now, it doesn't lock up quite like a 19, but it does still give you the recoil action, and the barrel is much more like a 19 or the typical Glock barrel than a lot of the other 22s out on the market.
Yeah, that little locking cutout that they usually have there in here, the little step down you don't see in this typical, I guess, blowback design on the 22. Here's the slide, and
here's where it gets interesting, because this is not a steel slide like on all the other Glocks. This is a hybrid polymer steel slide, and you can see the rails along the bottom of the slide are steel, and the steel carries over to the part of the inside, whereas the primary part of the slide, the stuff that you really see and grab a hold of, is all polymer, which is one of the reasons this gun is so light.
And you can see we've got all the usual suspects in here, the striker pin safety, etc., etc. Now let's take a look at the frame here. Again, looks like a typical Glock. It's got the connector in there and trigger housing and field strips just like a regular Glock does.
Hey, I think it is a Glock.
I think it is a Glock. So far so good. Feels good in the hand. Does come with straps just like the regular Glocks does. You get 2 magazines with it. The magazines are 10-round magazines, but the nice thing here is you can pull this down. It's got some loading assist levers here. Makes it a little bit easier to pop the bullets in there.
And I'm sure at some point somebody will come up with aftermarket mags that'll be a whole lot bigger or more capacity, maybe more capacity for the same size.
We can only hope, yes. And then putting it back together.
While you got the slide in your hand, talk to me about that rear sight.
Oh, yes, this is interesting. Not your typical Glock rear sight. You can see in here, you can adjust for drift in the sight itself without having to move the entire sight. And I do believe in the box it comes with like a little tiny screwdriver that will fit in these 2 little screws there so you can adjust it. Front sight looks like a standard Glock front sight. And yeah, but it's incredibly light, like Harley said. This is, yeah, it's very light.
Let's get this gun back together and let's put some rounds down range.
All right, coming back together, just the opposite way we came apart.
All right, we're here at Ann Arbor Arms on the range in the tack bay, and we're going to put some first shots. Actually, the Great Gordo is going to put some first shots through his Glock 44. We have a bunch of different ammunition on this thing. We're going to see if it all works. Glock claims they've tested this with a variety of ammunition, and we're going to try it. We're going to start out with some Federals and then go to some CCIs. Thank you, 22 Plinkster. These are the Stangers.
Good.
Out of the box to the range. Glock 44 with the Great Gordo putting the first shots through his new gun. Are these the Stangers, or is this a Federal?
Stangers.
These are the Stangers.
Stangers.
CCI Stingers, got it. Well, what's it feel like?
Well, now we're going to find out if this video clip stays or if it gets edited. All right, guys, I'll tell you this. It fires. That was my job in this whole thing. If you want to see how accurate it shoots, I'm going to defer to Harley on this one.
We're going to do the Federals, Federal 22 of the Glock 44. Boy, this gun is light. Now, remember, I'm a 1911 guy. I haven't shot a Glock in a long time.
We got a jam, Harley?
Got a misfire. Got the primer is hit, but it did not go off. Typical 22. And the slide stays back after the last round. I can live with that.
That first volley was operator error, I'm thinking. I could live with that, Drew.
No. Okay. All right, we're going to load these up with CCI quiets. We're going to see how this works. The Glock literature says they shot a lot through it. Let's see if we can too.
What happened?
I don't think it ran the slide all the way back. No, CCI quiets are not cycling the action.
It doesn't like those, eh?
It's it fired the case, but didn't cycle the action. All right. So it doesn't like CCI quiets. Not too surprising. Let's try the Gem Tech. See how Gem Tech works. Seems to work.
Didn't have any problem with those.
Oh. All right, we're going to put some Wolf Match Extra 22 ammunition through the Glock 44. Primer hit, typical 22 ammunition. Another primer hit, and did not go off on wolf. All right, finally we're going to try some Federal suppressor ammunition. This is Suppressor 22 Federal American Eagle. And if this is quiet, like the quiet, it may not work. But if it's got a little more oomph, this may very well work in the Glock.
Seem to like those.
Hey, no complaints at all. The only thing it didn't work with is the quiet. Not enough oomph to cycle it. Obviously had a couple of failures with the wolf ammunition, but hey, Glock, call it a Glock 22 or call it a Glock 44, but it's the 44/2, the 22 caliber, and it's a nice shooting gun. It's amazingly light, shoots like a Glock. I'm a 1911 guy. I keep looking for the thumb safety. It's not there, but the gun works. And I want to thank, again, the Great Gordo for loaning us, letting us shoot this gun and letting us put the first shots through it here at Ann Arbor Arms. If you like these videos, we really appreciate a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Let your friends and neighbors know that Riders Range exists so we can boost up in the ratings just a little bit. And again, I want to thank you for visiting Riders Range.